Hey guys, Big here, and today we are back with our Healer 101 class, where I will give you guys the basic teachings of the healers that I play, so that if you are interested in them coming to War Within, you will not be some dumb blonde bimbo. You will have the basic understandings now thanks to Big Tuna, so that you can then excel in the next expansion. Today's lesson is about where to be positioned at in the arena. If you have not checked out our previous lesson talking about the cooldowns of Resto Shaman, highly recommend you watch that before you watch this. It is in the upper right hand corner. And of course, if you do have any more questions by the end of this video that are not yet answered, you can always fire them away at the comment section, and I'll do my best to answer them with as much information as possible. So generally, there are three areas in the map where you can position yourself as a healer. You have your pillars, you have the open area, open field, and then you have the enemy's pillar. And it all really depends on the comp you're facing and the playstyle of your healer, and of course how you want to run the game. Resto Shaman can play at any position, which is really great. Again, just depends on the comp and depends on your playstyle. For Resto Shaman, it's very useful because you can protect your totems. Your totems are unfortunately killable. Your Tremor totem, your Healing Stream totem, your Healing Tide totem, all killable. Every totem is killable, but the ones that you want to be placed behind a pillar are your most useful totems. So a lot of those pesky DPS that are able to snipe totems a lot more frequently, Paladin with their 20-yard range, and Final Verdicts, Hammer Rasts, Judgments. Dragon can Living Flame it, Azure Strike it if they really want to. Moonkins can Star Surge it, Sunfire it, Moonfire it, and a lot of healers can actually do it as well. Can kill your totems. Very annoying, but placing them behind your pillars, very nice. Get your Healing Stream totems down, they're well protected, they're doing their things, they're healing the team, they're not going to be killed. And it also kind of makes good for good situations where if people want to kill your totems, you're forcing people into a bad position. So for example, Healing Tide, the minute Healing Tide totem is down, you can just count any chance of your team dying out the window. It's 0%. So you will have some DPS who will try and kill your Healing Tide totem. So you can either do one of two things. You can protect it by, hey, it's already at a pillar, they're coming to my pillar, I will move it to the second pillar. All right, he's coming over here, boom, move it to the second pillar, it's protected. Obviously you want to make sure it's in range of your DPS so that they are still getting healed and you're not just moving it to move it. But yes, generally you can move it to another pillar. This guy is overextended because he wanted to kill my Healing Tide totem. Hey guys, get CC on the the healer. He's all the way behind here, just chilling, watching the football game. The dragon pushed in to try and kill my Healing Tide totem. I got my Lightning Lasso ready, but when we send it on this guy, if we don't kill him, we force CDs. We force people to make bad decisions. But also, for the kind of general thing, you're at a pillar, means you can't really get CC'd as often. It kind of denies the chance to go you as a Resto Shaman, and this is especially apparent in melee cleaves. Resto Shaman dies to melee cleaves. You can't use defensives as a Resto Shaman and stuns, comparatively to Resto Druid who can Bark Skin, a Disc Priest who can Pain Suppression, a Holy Priest who can Guardian, a Holy Paladin who can Divine Protection. So as Resto Shaman, it's a lot harder to deal with melee cleaves and constantly being stunned, so being at a pillar kind of denies the option, not denies it completely, but less frequently will people be able to get goes on you. This can be anyone. It could be Windwalker DK. Hell, it could be a Dragon DK, Ret Warrior, Jungle, Feral Survival Hunter, whatever it may be. Unfortunately, of course, you are going to be subjected to getting goad on at some point. Peeking your head constantly, getting your Riptides out, getting your Healing Stream totems down. You unfortunately get gripped in, or this Feral Druid wild charges to you, maim stuns you. That's when the go is initiated. That's when it comes down to your team to kind of peel for you. Stuns, fears, end caps, whatever it is, have your team peel for you. If it's a trinket angle, it's a trinket angle. But generally, being at a pillar just protects your totems. It can force people to make bad decisions if they want to push in to kill your totems. And of course, it makes it a lot harder for the enemy to commit goes on you. Then you have the open area. The open area is a little bit more sketchy for a Resto Shaman, but not as bad as you'd think. You have a lot of CC avoidability. You have Grounding Totem, which will just eat any CC or eat anything, any harmful spell cast within 34 yards of the totem and of the players. Fears, stuns, depending on what stuns they are, magical stuns, traps from hunters, sleepwalks, polymorphs, whatever it may be. Grotting Totem will eat it alive. It's very amazing. You also have Tremor Totem. Tremor Totem will kind of bulldoze through those fears, those sleepwalks, charm effects, which I think the only charm effect in the game is technically Seduce from Succubus. Tremor Totem is absolutely amazing. And then, of course, you have Interrupt. Casted CC, you can interrupt pretty frequently. Fears, polymorph, sleepwalk, whatever it may be. You can also Ghost Woof certain CCs, depending on if the CC works on humanoid targets. You can Ghost Woof, for example. This Holy Paladin's casting Repentance. I can literally just sit in front of his face and Ghost Woof, because Ghost Woof will turn you into a beast, technically, and Repentance does not work on beasts, so you can kind of be cheeky with that. But yeah, you have a lot of ways to avoid CC, Interrupts, Tremor Totem, Grind Totem, Ghost Woof. Ghost Woof, like the 1% chance that it does work. This also helps if you're aggro with your damage. Not super important, but if you are aggro with getting as much damage as possible, Lava Burst, if you're running a Stormkeeper, Purges as well, it makes it a lot easier to be in the open and just have eyes on every target that you want to be purging, doing damage on. Your Static Field Totem makes it easier to get Static Field Totems out, specifically if you're going to be stacking people up. Since you have eyes on everyone, you can kind of stack, you know, hey, you have the, you got these, I'm trying to think of a comp. So you have this Windwalker DK here, Static Field Totem, get him on top of his healer. You can AoE stun on top of that if you have Cap Totem, and we kind of mix a magic cap, and they're all grouped up together, big cleave energy. Being open is just all about if you are super aggro with Resto Shaman, purges, damage, making sure you are keeping yourself safe with that CC avoidability. It's a lot more punishing versus certain comps. Like let's say we have Afflock Shadow Priest. I keep on going to Afflock Shadow Priest as like my main comp for certain examples. Same thing with Windwalker DK. But yeah, Afflock Shadow Priest. The Shadow Priest blanket silences you. You can't do anything in that blanket silence. Maybe he gets a Fear in, and then you're going to get Fear Span from the Warlock into a Shadow Fury, maybe into a Coil, maybe into a Psychic Horror, and stuff like that can be really punishing if you're just playing out in the open and you can't pre-ground it, which, I mean, it's very hard to pre-ground a Blanket Silence or a Psychic Horror or a Mortal Coil, so stuff like that, just be wary of your position. If you have to peel back, you have to peel back. But yeah, the open area is for those who are just going to be aggressive with their purges, their Static Field Totems, and their damage, and who are very great at avoiding CC with their toolkit. The enemy pillar is kind of where I like to be at, because it offers one great thing, and that is the ability to get crowd control off a lot easier. As healers, nowadays every healer has crowd control. Every healer has a unique CC chain. Dragons have Sleepwalks, Resto Druids have Cyclones, as well as Mighty Bash or Incap Roar. You also have Paladins with the Repentance Hodge. Priests have Fear and Chastise. Monks have Incap and Leg Sweep, maybe even Song of Chi-Ji if they're being that guy. But yeah, every healer has their own unique CC chain, and Resto Shaman is no different. You have Line of Lasso, you have Cap Totem, and then you have Hex. Being at the enemy's pillar ensures you can get crowd control on literally anyone. Because you're in the enemy back line, most likely you're going to have eyes on everyone. You're going to be in range of every single enemy. The healers, the off DPS, and the kill target. But the question is who you're going to send that CC on. Generally, as a kind of rule of thumb, it's going to be the third target. Basically, the third person who is not CC'd is who you're going to be sending your crowd control on. But it mostly comes off of communication with your team. You know, as a healer, generally you want to take the leadership position of, you know, kind of telling your team what needs to happen, what is going to happen, you know, when we're in trouble, when we're behind CDs, when we need to peel back, when we need to push in, stuff like that. What cooldowns do they need to use for, you know, their next go, whatever it may be. It's that leadership that makes healers great. But when it comes to crowd control, that's something that that your DPS has to kind of understand. That's one of their few jobs in the arena. Because how do things die in the arena? It's not just Omega damage, it's cross CC. It's being able to not play the game that kills enemies. So I'll leave it up to my DPS to tell me what my CC is going to be on. I got Hex ready. Who am I sending this on? Great Big Tuna, send on the healer. 3, 2, 1. I get my Hex off. We get our cross CC on the off DPS. That's, you know, my DPS are taking care of that. Cool, we make the magic happen. Hey guys, my stun is coming off in 7 seconds. Cool, Big Tuna. My stun's coming off in 12 seconds. Why am I using these numbers? 12 seconds. All right, cool. We're going to go in 15 seconds. All right, 3, 2, 1. We get our CC off. We make the magic happen once again. Being at a pillar is going to help ensure you get that CC off. You're kind of in range of everyone to where you can CC whoever it may be, the healer, the DPS, to kill a target. It makes your life easier for that kind of aggressive playstyle. Now, there are some downsides. For example, if you do get caught at a bad angle where, hey, they do swap you, then that is kind of troublesome because you're in their territory. Everyone has eyes on you. The healer has eyes on you. The 2 DPS have eyes on you, meaning the healer is going to spam purge you or do his own damage onto you. It's pretty sketchy, so being able to get out of there is, kind of going to be a must for you to do. Gust of Wind if you have it, have your DPS, hey, freedom me, do whatever. CC them, blind them, fear them, whatever. Get them off me so I can get away. Then once you have the, once everything stabilizes, then you can kind of go back to the pillar. But yeah, it's a lot easier to just be at the enemy's pillar and crowd control them because, having to run up from your pillar or from the open to CC them, very noticeable. People can counteract it, and it just looks stupid. So being at a pillar, getting my lightning lassos off for free, basically, which there's no way someone can interrupt me because I lightning lasso the healer here, and I'm behind the pillar, so no one can interrupt me. It's pretty damn amazing. And there you have it, guys. Those are the positions of Resto Shaman in the arena. I'll kind of run through it back again. Your pillar benefits you not being goad on as often, also protects your totems, can force certain interactions to happen by punishing stupid DPS who push in too far to kill your totems. The open area is beneficial to those who are very aggressive with their purge interrupts and their damage, as well as static field totem plays. And then the enemy pillar is for those who are very aggressive with their CC chains. Hopefully you guys learned something great, and be sure to tune in for our next lesson where I'll talk about how to be offensive with Resto Shaman. I'll see you guys then, and of course, drink your water. It's pretty important. It's summertime, it's hot. Drink your water, drink more than the average amount because it's hot. Don't want to have heat stroke, don't want to have any sort of heat related problems. And of course, I bid you a farewell.